Welcome, Internet and everyone around the world, and you four listeners to episode 33 of Sis and Big Pops Culture. I am Big Pops, Todd Turner, also known as the Internet's Mosaic Fan Art.
The Internet's Mosaic Fan Art.
You know, and probably other places.
I would say the Comic-Con's Mosaic Fan Art.
Oh, yeah, the
Perhaps.
two I've been to. And who are you, my lovely
Bob.
assistant?
You
Not
Bob.
assistant. You are the co-conspirator in this
Co-conspirator,
massive
if you will, in
pop
this
culture
undertaking.
explosion.
Pop culture explosion.
Kablooey! Should we start over? No.
I'm Sis, aka Hannah Jo, and together we are a father and adult daughter duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
That's right, everyone. You can put this on in the background while your kid's watching Blippi.
Bluey.
No, Blippi. Blippi's like a
Blippi?
character. Blippi is some character that, like, Beckett loves.
You mean Bluey?
No, the character's name is Blippi.
The character's name is Blippi.
It's like a YouTube sensation. I don't know. What's on the schedule today?
Yeah,
Hannah?
so today we are talking, as always, we're going to talk about some pop culture news, and we're going to talk about what we're binging. We're going to talk about your pull list, and we're going to talk about a comic book and a movie. We're going to talk about Astonishing X-Men, the first trade of that, and we're going to talk about pretty much the best
Fast
film
and Furious
that's ever
9.
came out, and it's just critically acclaimed. And
I'm going to be critically acclaiming. I'm going to critically critical it right now, but we'll get that to the end, and it will have spoilers, so it'll be at the end.
Yeah, so Fast 9 spoilers at the end if you are like, oh no, I can't know what happened.
Oh gosh, you know what happened? They drive cars, they blow them up, and then they save the world.
Boom.
All right, Hannah.
Yeah.
Nerd news. This just in. News desk reporting. Hannah Turner. Live from Bowling Green.
There is a new movie coming out this fall. There's a lot of new movies coming out this fall.
Yeah, there's like a bazillion.
There's so many. Thank you, Jesus, for movie theaters. I'm so glad.
Okay,
I went to
what
one.
is the movie?
Dad.
We're going to talk about it.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so it's a new Disney movie. It's coming out in fall of 2021, which is this year. It's called Encanto. And it is what?
No, go ahead. That seems familiar, but I don't know why. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's supposed to be like enchanted or something like that, like Encanto, like an
I don't know.
incantation or something like
Gotcha.
that. It's spelled E-N-C.
So it's voodoo.
No.
Okay.
It is a family.
Who's voodoo worshippers?
No. Let
Okay.
me finish.
Okay, go.
Daddy, it is
Okay,
a family of people who have superpowers, who all are
And they
like
worship
magic.
voodoo.
Dad, no. Stop
Okay.
with the voodoo. This is going to
Okay.
be really stinking cute, and I'm really excited about it, and you keep talking about voodoo. It's
All right,
not
I'm
anything
sorry.
to do.
Okay, so they all have superpowers.
They have superpowers except this one girl who doesn't.
Sounds like the Addams Family.
And she's in this family, and everyone's like, "You're not special." She goes, "I think we're all special." And this one little girl.
Does she have a positive attitude in it?
Yeah.
From what
and
you
this-
saw, good.
Yeah. I mean, all they've released is a teaser trailer. This, like, one of
Gotcha.
her uncles comes and brings her this giant gift basket. And it's like, "I got this for you because you don't have a special gift."
So she has a gift basket.
So she has a giant gift basket. And one of she says, "I think we all have special gifts." And this one little girl looks at her and goes, "I think your special gift is denial."
Oh, that's a good one. So Encanto.
Encanto. The music is by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Wait, is it real people or is it animated?
It's a cartoon.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a cartoon. And it's all of the cast of characters in it are Latina and Latino. So I think that
Gotcha.
will be really fun to watch. I think the music will be
Awesome,
beautiful. The animation looks so cool. I'm really excited about it.
Well, speaking about movies that are coming out, so we talked about Free Guy
Stoked.
last week, right?
Did they push it back again?
No, it's August, but here's the deal. Apparently, Deadpool does these video reactions to movie trailers.
Like,
So really,
like Ryan Reynolds
it's
as Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool
Oh, that makes me so happy.
reacting to the movie trailer. He goes, "We're going to react to this movie trailer called Free Guy, which I thought came out a year ago." He said, and he goes, "And here to help me with my reaction is Korg, because everyone else was busy." So Korg from Thor, the rock creature.
I saw a TikTok and it was Deadpool and Korg. And they were talking about how to get on. He was like, how do I get into the Marvel franchise?
Yes, that's hilarious. So they've done he said, he goes, because Korg is here because everybody else is busy on Disney Plus.
Yeah, LOL.
Yeah. And another movie being released, I think maybe next month, re-released in theaters because it's the 35th anniversary, Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. The one where they have to go and get the humpback whales and bring them back. It's like one of the best Star Trek movies. Star Trek.
Okay.
Star Trek IV.
I haven't seen Star Trek IV.
Oh, it's great.
Which one is it? Like which cast?
It's the one. It's the original.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They go and they have to bring whales back to the future because there is a spaceship who's trying to communicate with an intelligent species on Earth, but it's extinct. Oh. And you come to find out that it's humpback whales. Huh. So they go and they actually have a Klingon ship that they have stolen.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll have to watch 2, 3, and 4 together.
I'm down.
Then just stop watching them.
Dad, guess what?
What?
I finally watched Shang-Chi
Chicken
and
butt.
the Ten Rings.
Oh, the trailer.
I did.
What do you think about the okay, how's this news?
It's news because every single time we talk, you're like, have you watched the trailer yet? And I did.
That is news. No.
I
what do you think about the rings being like bracelets?
I like that it's bracelets.
I'm
really
okay with
liked
it.
In the trailer, here's the thing. I have no skin in this game. Because to me, I'm like, oh yeah, the rings are bracelets. Like they don't have to be rings.
Yeah.
Rings just means it's a circle. I didn't even know the rings were actual rings.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't even know that. I'm like, oh, they're 10 circles.
Yeah, because the Mandarin from Iron Man had a ring for each finger, and they each had different powers. Yeah. So it's cool, though. I'm wondering how it's going to play out.
I really liked the scene where he was fighting his dad, and his rings were a different color than the dad's rings.
The dad's bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In the recent miniseries, of course, he's now got a new series out, but they did a 5-issue miniseries where he had to. He's called the Fist. I can't remember what he's called. No, everybody's something. Anyway.
That was a joke.
But anyway, he had to fight each member to gain their allegiance or something. And I don't remember. But his dad was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it.
Did you see?
I'm excited to see it.
Good. I'm going to go see it. I don't know when it comes out.
I'll go see it.
And did you see where literally this was today? I check the AP news because I think it's not biased. Honestly, that's why. Because I don't need something that's conservatively biased or liberally biased. I just want the news.
You to have a news outlet that you feel is appropriate.
Yeah, and this was on the front page. Unopened Super Mario 64 game from 1996 sells for $1.56 million. And yeah, last week a Legend of Zelda game from Nintendo sold for $800,000. Apparently, they're grading these now like they do comic books. You know how they've graded.
What yours would be graded for?
Which comic? What?
What games you have downstairs?
Oh,
Nintendo 64 games.
No, I don't have any Nintendo 64. All mine are the NES. Mine are the original.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I don't have any 64, but it looked like that was a very high grade. I couldn't see, but I was
Weird.
like, what?
That's cool.
Yeah, Nathan was like, well, does the game work? I go, I don't know. It's unopened. He goes, well, if the game works, it's 100. It's a 10. If it doesn't work, it's not. So who knows?
That's funny.
Oh, gosh. Yep.
So we've talked on the podcast, and me and you think that this is really cool as well. The Disney Gallery making of The Mandalorian.
I saw this too.
Yeah, and they're releasing on August 25th the making of the finale for season 2.
The Luke Skywalker episode.
No, the finale of season 2 was so good.
I watched a YouTube video where they took out all of the music except for Luke's music from the original movies.
Aw.
It was really good.
That's really sweet.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll watch that too. Do you know what this week is? The start of? I know it's been going on forever. People don't even know anymore. It's Shark Week.
Hoo-ah.
So guess what Suicide Squad did? So they have a King Shark intro for Shark Week. You got to go check it out. It's hilarious. So yeah, voiced by Sylvester Stallone, King Shark is doing a shark that does like a Shark Week thing. I mean, that's great. It's good. That is so funny.
Oh, sorry, you go. Because my last piece of news isn't really news.
Mine's okay. San Diego Comic-Con is at home again.
Aw, bum.
Yes and no.
Well, they've started cons again. Like Indie PopCon was this past weekend.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to be doing one in September if it doesn't get canceled.
Please don't.
I know. But, and here's the deal. DC and Marvel not participating.
In what?
In the San Diego at-home Comic-Con.
Really?
Yeah. And here's the deal.
Why do you think?
I'm okay with it. First of all, DC did their own fandom thing, remember? Mm-hmm. So I think they're going for that.
Fandom.
And now Marvel is, with the Disney, the D23 and all that garb or whatever, you know what I'm talking about, the Disney thing. So
no, Hannah Turner, do you know what I'm talking about the Disney Expo?
All right, whatever.
Dad.
So I actually think this is going to be a good thing.
So it'll give space for more like indie creators and stuff like that to pop up in San
Boom
Diego?
Studios.
Dope,
I mean, Crunchyroll's already got something there.
That's cool.
And like the independent things. And I think it'll become more of a hardcore comic appreciators. So
that's what you're hoping for, at least?
I don't know. I mean, I would like that. I mean, I'm okay with it.
I'm down. I mean,
but here's the deal. The Comic-Con is not a comic book thing anymore.
Well, the Lexington one is the toy and comic convention.
Correct. But it's a lot of TV shows, anime, that's okay. Yeah, so I saw that. What's your last piece of news?
So, Luca. Did you watch Luca?
Yes, I have not.
There is a TikTok
Did you watch it?
I watched part of it, and then I knew it was going to make me feel sad. Like I was going to get feelings.
Gotcha.
So I stopped watching it.
Feelings.
But there was this TikTok trend about these two boys talking to each other, Alberto and Luca, saying Silencio Bruno to each other. And it's about Alberto's talking to Luca about, hey, that part of you in your head that's afraid of stuff, just tell it to be quiet.
Gotcha.
And so there's a really cute TikTok trend.
That is neat.
About Silencio Bruno.
It's not all about your head.
Yeah.
Not on your head. It's got your feet. I don't know. I know that song. What's the song?
Cute.
What's that song, Hannah?
It's on the Summer CD. I don't remember what it's called.
It's your song.
I know it's my song. Okay. I had quite a few songs on the Summer CD this year.
All right. So that's all my nerd news. What are you binging?
Okay. So.
Go.
So Trev has decided that we should watch all of the Marvel movies in order.
What kind of order?
He has not seen them all. See, this was point of contention.
The point of contention.
The point of contention was, do we watch them? There was no contention. I got to pick. Do we watch them in chronological order or release date order?
Okay, on the count of three, we're going to say it.
Okay, I hope I got it right because I was like, I think this is what my dad would say, and then that's what we went with. Oh no!
Ready?
Okay,
that's okay. 1, 2, 3. Release date.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. He was like,
Okay.
What one would
That
your
was-
dad do, Hannah? I'm like, release date. You watch them in order of like chronological's dumb. Watch them release date.
I would, yeah.
I mean,
right,
I'm
that's
not
why
that
I would do it.
Yeah, and so
Not
I
that
was-
chronologically timeline is dumb. That is not true. However,
No.
there's a lot of extra bonus stuff on them that
For release
only
date.
makes sense if you watch them in the order they were released.
Yeah, and so I was So I thought
What are
to
you on?
myself, what would Dad do? And the answer was release date. And so I'm glad that
Yep.
I know you, my dear Papa.
Yes.
I was like, oh no, if I got it wrong.
No, release date's what I would do.
There's nowhere you can watch The Incredible Hulk, so didn't watch that.
We have it.
I know, but I don't live with you.
That's okay. I have to mail you some shoes and a comic book, so we'll put the movie in there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So you started in with
skipped that
Iron Man,
one.
the
So we
first
did
Iron Man.
So here's another
You want to
thing.
know what Marvel movie I just finished?
You just finished Iron Man?
Iron Man.
I told you I just watched it. Do you remember
That's
us having that
hilarious.
conversation?
Maybe I don't.
I put it
I'm
in your
old.
mind. I
You
did.
did. You mind melded me. Anyway. Okay,
So Iron Man, and then because then it was like, how many of them can I name in order based on release date? And I got pretty much through phase 2, and that's
hard.
when it became too much, and it was hard for me to realize what was next. So we've done Iron Man 2, and Thor.
Thor.
And so then it's Captain America and Avengers.
correct.
But like he's seen some of them, but not all of them. So he's like, yeah, like I watched Endgame. I'm like, but you haven't watched like Black Panther or Ant-Man and
No,
like all of these
if
like
you don't
other
watch
ones.
Civil War, has he watched Civil War? No, not Civil War.
Captain America Civil War. He had
No, Winter Soldier. So the on your left.
No.
At the end, he doesn't even get that. Oh
There's
man.
so many little jokes. He's like, I watched the one with Thanos. Is that Endgame? I'm like, oh no.
All right,
And,
but that's okay.
Yeah, it's so really sweet. So we're watching those because he's like, I mean, I don't know. I've never watched them and you love them. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, no kidding.
I love them.
What's
Yeah.
my favorite Marvel movie?
Of all time? Captain America, the First Avenger.
You're right. Good job, Hannah. You
Yeah.
know me.
I know you.
I know. That's great. Awesome.
So I'm watching all of those.
Nice. That's good binge-worthy TV.
Man.
Everyone should watch them.
And if you do, you know Sis and Pops think you should watch them in order of release.
In release date, right? And here's the deal. I can't believe they haven't. I don't know how the Hulk movie works because I don't think Marvel. There's a weird way with Disney and who owns the rights to the Hulk,
And
which
who
is
owns
why
the rights to like a couple things. So
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Superman.
no Marvel owns them now
Okay,
because they bought.
didn't.
But
They
they
didn't, but
bought
they do now?
Fox. Because they bought 21st Century Fox, which
Hmm.
now means they no. Yeah. So they own Ghost Rider,
Dope.
everything that all the
Except
X-Men.
not Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is
Spider-Man,
owned by
'cause
Sony.
that's by Sony. Yeah, the rights are by Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man and Hulk are weird.
Yeah, they're weird. I don't know
But
how
it's
that
like
goes.
you can like it's interesting to watch, like go back and watch them because they're not owned by Disney yet.
Right.
And
yeah,
so, like,
but I don't know that
it's
you can tell a
Paramount
difference.
and stuff like that. So it's
Oh,
you
yeah.
can so tell a difference.
Oh, well,
They're-
don't be dissing them.
No, I'm not dissing. I'm not dissing them. They're quirkier and like
Gotcha.
grainier and like grittier.
Well, they're older too.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
Tom Hiddleston looks like a baby.
that's hilarious.
Loki.
Have you watched Loki at all?
I've watched the first 1.5. First
Oh,
two. First 2.5.
The last one.
Yeah, with
number
all the
4.
variants.
Yes.
Oh man.
The old school Loki from the comic book.
Who's like an old man? Yeah.
So, do you watch anything else? Because I've got a bunch.
I watched Emma with Michaela
All right.
this past weekend.
Gotcha. That's funny. Yeah, you didn't watch it with Emma. You watched Emma with Michaela after you saw Emma.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Isn't that funny?
So, okay,
Oopsies.
I watched
Late on me. Did
a
you watch
bunch
The
of
Chosen?
stuff.
I saw a new
I
episode
did.
of The Chosen came out.
Saw a new episode of The Chosen. Still, actually, though, we're like 3 episodes behind. So
Oh, dope.
we watched one with John the Baptist, and I thought his beard was terrible. Told your mom that. But John the Baptist was played really cool. He's extremely crazy. You know,
What does it mean to have a bad beard?
his beard I thought it looked fake. I'm like, oh, anyway. But yes, we watched that. I watched The Tomorrow War.
I want to watch it. Don't spoil me.
I won't spoil you.
It's on
However,
my list.
it's all right. It's okay. It's a fun movie to watch. It's a lot of violence, but you don't see a lot of blood. But
It's PG-13.
Okay, here's the deal. Once you start watching the movie, you know exactly how it's going to end.
I mean, duh.
You know exactly what's going to happen.
Of course.
The best part of the movie for me, J.K. Simmons as his dad. So
Do I know J.K. Simmons?
yes, you know him. We are farmers. Dun, 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 dun. He was
yes,
in
that
Whiplash. Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah,
He's kind of a scary dude.
He is, but I don't know. So I watched that. I watched The Summer of Soul, which
I don't know
is,
what that is.
okay. It's a documentary on Hulu about a concert that was put on in Harlem in the summer of 1969.
Cool.
And it had like
is it like the Woodstock that nobody knows about? Because I heard about that.
Because it was all a black community.
Mm-hmm.
And it also happened the same weekend that we landed on the moon.
Oh, that'll do it.
So it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's
Loved
so
it.
cool.
Yeah, it was great. No matter what color you are, you should watch
I love
it.
a documentary, man.
But it's not just straight documentary. So it has some documentary moments, but you get to see Sly and the Family Stone play, Stevie Wonder play, the Temptations. Well, not the Temptations, the lead singer for the Temptations. Gladys Knight and the Pips, Mahalia Jackson. I mean,
so cool.
There is some great music.
That's so
and
fun. I
it's
love
really
that.
neat. It was like about a culture coming into their own. And
I love that.
It was really good. So I enjoyed that. Plus, I'm now rewatching Doctor Who. Yes, I'm on Peter Capaldi, and I finished watching.
Are you okay,
Yeah.
Dad?
No, I started with Capaldi.
Understand him better.
I know. It's subtitles.
Subtitles.
I can't watch with subtitles because I got it on while I'm working on my mosaic and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
So anyway, I finished an episode yesterday. I came upstairs and Mom was doing something, so I came and I sat down in the living room and turned it on the big TV. And she came in and wrapped up in a blanket. And like with 5 minutes left to go in the show, she probably was there for 10 minutes. She goes, "This is weird."
I mean, she's not wrong. What episode was it?
It was the bank heist.
Oh, I was good. Dad.
I love the bank heist.
Literally in my head, I was like, I bet it was the bank heist.
It was.
I bet it was the bank heist because that episode is weird.
With the creatures with the...
Especially at the end with the...
Yeah, they go walking and they're like...
have these two, like, their head...
They erase your memory.
Flat, but they have two eyeballs that bend in towards each other. And when they do that, they make your brain go...
Into jello.
Mush,
into soup.
jelly.
Soup. He called it soup.
Soup.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the one we watched.
What a good...
So that's it for my binging. That's it for my binging. What do you want to do?
Pull list?
Okay,
Perhaps?
so
Perhaps.
yeah.
What is a pull list, my dear Papa?
I know. I don't know why we have to say this every time.
Because oftentimes when people listen to podcasts, they don't go to the very first episode, especially if it's a talk podcast like ours is. If it was a narrative form podcast, they'd go back to the very beginning so that they'd be able to learn.
I don't
about
understand
all
what
of the
that
story.
means. Don't they talk in a narrative thing?
In a narrative form podcast, there's like collaborative storytelling, or it's like an audio drama, and you wouldn't.
I think there's drama here, and we're telling stories all the time.
This is not a scripted podcast. If this was a scripted podcast, you'd go back and listen to the very beginning to hear all the entire story. But
Well, they should go back to the beginning.
Well,
like
if a person-
listen to the first 3 and then skip
Dad.
to like 20
Dad.
or 15. I don't know. Anyway, okay, yeah.
But we'd
Here's
say every week what a pull list is for people who haven't watched this or heard it in their earballs before.
Okay, here for y'all, your new earballs out there.
Pull list. What is it, Dad?
A pull list is a outrageously large list of comics that you shouldn't be buying because you have more important things to pay for. But in my case, what happens is I write down a list of comic books that I want to get every month. Oh, and there's something neat I got to tell you about that.
Okay.
And I give them to my local comic book shop owner, and he or she pulls them before they get put out for general pickage. So
that it is saved for you. They pull it from their inventory before it's placed on the shelves.
The guy is doing this thing where you can pull, it's like an online thing where you list all your books through, and the only comics that aren't included in them are DC comics. So I can choose all my Marvel and all my
because
independents.
DC comes a different way.
Yeah, it comes through a different way. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
pretty much, so now it's even cooler. But now I got to go check something every week or two. So, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I can't remember what it's called. It's called Pool Box is what it's called. I think that's what it's called. I'll have to double check.
Pool Box, the pull list.
I think that's what it's called. So what I do, I get a whole bunch of books. I got a bazillion last week. I took a picture and put it on the thing.
I saw.
And I was like,
I saw on your
how do I
Facebook.
choose
So
6?
Dad picks 2 Marvels, 2 DCs, 2 independent comics, and his book of the week.
Yeah. Although this week I think I did a honorable mention.
Ooh, we love an honorable mention
because we're going to talk about X-Men, Astonishing X-Men, and we'll talk about that later. So that's the honorable mention. X-Men 1 came out. They relaunched X-Men at X-Men 1.
Dope.
And we'll talk about that when we talk about
Marvel.
X-Men. Yeah. So
Marvel.
I'll just do them in the order I've got them here.
Lay
My
'em on
first
us,
one
Papa.
is Marvel Comics Amazing Spiderman 70, Prelude to Sinister War.
Okay, so here's my guess. This would be a good spot to start collecting.
Absolutely. Okay. To hop in. And it's this creator, issue 70. It's this creator's last foray into Spider-Man, and I think someone else is going to take over. So
you mentioned that, I think.
Yeah, which is okay, because his stories, I think, have been good and then okay. But anyway, so what happens in this issue is Dr. Octopus is rounding out his Sinister Six. And up until now, Kirk Connors, who is the Lizard, Kirk Connors is a good guy. He's the guy with only one arm that teaches at whatever. But he's always battled because he becomes the Lizard. He tried to create tried to create something to help regrow his lost arm.
That was the first bad guy in the Andrew Garfield
Correct.
movie.
Yeah, but he's not a bad guy. The Lizard's bad, but the guy's good. But Dr. Octopus finds a way to separate the two.
Oh.
So now Kraven the Hunter, they've got the octopus, or they've got the Lizard. And they're now getting ready to go get Mysterio.
Bum, bum.
But what's going to end up happening is there's going to be like 5 different groups all fighting in this thing. And it looks really good. So I really enjoyed this
Prelude
issue.
to the Sinister War.
Yep, Prelude to the Sinister War.
Amazing Spider-Man issue 70. Great spot to start collecting if you're interested.
Correct. My next book is a DC comic. It's Batman issue 110. And we talked a little bit about this early in the year where DC did this thing called DC Future State.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot, actually.
Right, where Batman was supposedly dead, and there was the bad people called the Magistrate were in charge of everything. Well, they basically, it feels to me like a lot of that stuff that they did during Future State was just like a brief version of what's going to happen here at the end of this year. So we are getting towards that. And actually Batman,
I'm confused.
What that, so
like
DC
that was
Future
like
State. Like instead of it being something
there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And in this issue, Batman fights the Magistrate has started.
Dum, dum.
And it's by James Tynion, the guy who does Department of Truth.
Oh, we like him.
Yeah, is
Department
writing
of Truth
this.
is going to be a TV show too.
Oh gosh, and I wish we'd done a podcast last week because Department of Truth last issue was really good. It was about Bigfoot. We'll talk about it when the next one comes out.
Okay.
Anyway,
I want to read those.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really good. Again, it has a backup story, which is I don't care for.
Okay.
Just quit giving me backup stories.
You
Just
either
make the real
love
story
them
longer.
or hate them.
Exactly. Some of the backup stories are great.
Some of the backup stories you prefer
are better. Right. That happened with Green Lantern last week. The last part of it I thought was better than the first part.
You really like the Green Lantern secondary stories. You had talked about a secondary story where he goes to this planet.
Yeah, but I don't know. The last Green Lantern. We're way off. I didn't like the beginning of the last issue of Green Arrow. I didn't like the art of the Green Lantern or the story. But again, it was exactly a follow up on something that happened in DC Future State. So I feel like I thought all the yeah.
This is
so
this
anyway.
is the rumbling.
Yeah. The next book I have is an Image comic.
Ooh, we like Image.
Called Ordinary Gods.
Have we talked about that?
No, it's brand new. It's issue 1. And Ordinary Gods is it's like a realm, sort of like this guy creates his own fictitious, like Roman gods, Greek gods, whatever. It's not them, but it's their own set of gods. And
like a pantheon.
To escape, but the people living are gods, but don't know they're gods.
Oh, so it's like, okay, I'm with you.
Like the cover of the book has like Queen, what was the queen that would have a pale face and the hair up all top? You know what I'm talking about? Ages ago. Anyway.
Victoria?
Like the,
oh, that's Elizabeth.
Yes. So like apparently she was a god or is a god or whatever. So it's really cool because they're trying to get the gods who are there. And because there's factions, they're trying to kill the ones they don't like and like the ones, but yeah, it's 2 warring god factions or whatever. So it looks like it's going to be interesting. I'll probably keep getting it.
I'm here for that. I think that sounds like fun.
My next book is an issue 1 by Marvel. It's called The United States of Captain America.
Okay, and what is it about?
Well, it starts with someone stealing Captain America's shield from his house, like breaking in. And they're very powerful, very strong. And they take the shield, and Sam comes to help him. And while they're trying to get all this stuff done, something happens on like a subway train. And they think they capture Captain America, but it's somebody dressed like Captain America. And you come to find out that this is a homeless kid who left home because his parents did not agree with his sexual preference. And he is riding the rails, and he has taken up the mantle as Captain America to protect people like people who are hobos or like homeless living on the rails.
That's really cute.
And you get a backup story in this that tells his origin, and it was really good. So this backup story was good. So this was really good. And this is going to be like, so what's happening is Captain America and Sam are like, someone is targeting Captain America, and it's all about, so they're going to go throughout the United States and make sure that these other people who are taking on the mantle of Captain America are okay and safe. And it's also a big thing about
stories about each type of person. While
correct.
Following.
Interwoven with them trying to find who's doing this and trying, because they tried to somebody tried to kill this character.
Aw.
And they
sad
was,
face.
But I think it's going to be good. I was completely against it, but I read the first one and thought, it's pretty good. It's a lot about
fun.
it. It's an introspective about Captain America talking about how, some people in the world think that it's a lot about, if you watched the TV show.
Which I didn't. I still haven't watched it.
And it's all about, what does this stand for? What does he stand for?
What is the meaning
of the Stars and Stripes?
Grand purpose?
Exactly. Cool. So it's really good. Okay. My next independent is issue 5 of Karmen.
Karmen is by whom?
This is the Image. This was the one where we did the trigger warnings.
Okay.
Because it dealt with suicide. So
issue
just
what?
let you know. Issue 5. It's the final issue.
Okay. KAR.
MEN. And what happens in this, it's the final issue. It is so good. So we've been watching Karmen and this girl who tried.
Do we need to do a trigger warning right now?
I just said that.
Okay,
I said it like multiple times.
You did. I'm with you.
Okay.
I didn't know if you were saying, "Hey, this is one that we did, but we don't need it now." We need it
Yes, we do need.
again.
Trigger warning. We will talk about suicide.
Okay.
So she tried to commit suicide, or she did commit suicide. And it's basically Karmen is supposed to be ferrying souls to the afterlife. And you get to see what this writer thinks about the afterlife, which is completely not what I believe.
Okay.
But whoever does believes in reincarnation. If you do something bad, you're reincarnated in a lower state. So your life is worse when you go back. If you die doing something good, then you're reincarnated in a higher state. I don't know, but anyway. But what happens is something Karmen does changes our character who who attempted suicide, changes her. And she actually is not, at the end, it's like, there's multiple people that work in this place that helps ferry souls or whatever. And they're like, something's not right. Something's weird. Something's happening here. And they're like, well, maybe we've not been doing our job right the whole time, because it looks like Karmen might be able to affect change before the person is ferried to the other side. And like at one point, Carmen's like, she's sitting in the bathroom where the girl tried to kill herself. And she's like, listen, we still have a chance. There's a 1 in 24,000 chance that the electric could go out and your person has a weak bladder because she's watched a TV show. She'll get up and come in and she'll find you. And they're like 3, 2, 1. And it didn't happen. She's like, well, shoot, But what happens is while the other character who committed suicide is visiting all these things she's seen, she actually has a change and is brought back to life with a higher state and with a happier life and a better life. And literally when that happens, Carmen's like, oh my gosh, it turned blue. And just then the electric goes out. Her roommate's like, check the fuse box. She's like, ugh, I got to go pee. And she goes into the bathroom, sits down and sees her roommate who's tried to kill herself, and then calls 911. And she's brought back to life.
Lives.
Yes. Aww. And it's really cool because she actually, when she was dead, she witnessed someone die in a car wreck, get hit by a car who was getting ready to be engaged. But the thing about it is that, so then she, they converse as they're being ferried or whatever. And she can still remember things. So she has what
ferry ride.
She recalls, she calls it her boyfriend calls it her medium book. And like her parents are like, the therapist says you should write down your feelings, write them down. Yes, write them down. So she's like, I need my book. Like she would wake up and she writes stuff down. Aww. She literally gets a cat and names it Karmen with a K. And then she sees something.
Sweet.
She sees something shiny somewhere and she's like, I need to go somewhere. And she digs out this ring that the guy who got hit and killed by the car wreck was going to give to his fiance to ask her to marry him. And she digs it out and finds the ring. And it's just so much, it's good. It's a great ending.
I want to read it.
A great ending. Here's the deal. Anybody wanting to read this book? Lots of nudity. It is not sexual nudity. It is body form nudity because the girl was in the bathtub when she tried to kill herself and she's floating around naked. Okay?
Like Elektra.
I don't know what Elektra is.
Elektra is, am I wrong?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Daredevil?
Oh, yeah. No, this is the art in it's beautiful. It's well done. Okay. So it's like a real person would look if they were, I mean, not like, you know what I mean?
Like, because oftentimes in comic books, they make ladies look not
at all. Not at all. She looks
look.
normal. She looks normal. So anyway, what's the phone number?
Oh, if anybody's having suicide hotline. Give me a second. I should have that memorized, actually.
That's okay. But if anybody here listening is thinking about things like that, there is a hotline you can call.
There's a National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It's 800-273-8255.
Okay, this is really bad timing, but my next book is called Suicide Squad. Is that bad?
My goodness, Dad.
I'm sorry, but it is. Because it's fantastic. Oh, well, anyway,
Not okay.
that is bad.
Dad, okay.
I didn't think that through.
You did not
But anyway,
think that one through.
this is DC Comics issue 5. This book is awesome. It's getting so much better. Of course, you guys know the movie. The movie is coming out. Sorry. The movie is coming out. And what's happening in this is even worse. Amanda Waller. We hate Amanda Waller. Evil. Well, now Amanda Waller
rocket
has the ability to go and pull people from multiverses. And she's got Bloodsport going out tracking down people in different multiverses, which, if I might mention, happened in February in the pages of the DC Future State Suicide Squad comic book.
Okay, so you're up in here like, if you
I don't like
read
it.
all of these. Oh, okay.
I don't like
It's not
that.
it's not like fun. It's like,
No, it might be fun to some people, but I was like, oh, that's great. If that's just like this is what could happen, but it's not what could happen. This is basically
It's not Marvel What If. It's just this is real life.
This is what's going to happen. So anyway, he is at
Amanda Waller.
Earth 3, which has the evil Justice League. Ultraman, Owlman, Johnny Quick, Emerald Knight, and they're all Superman's villains. And Bloodsport, yeah, you got to watch. It's good. Anyway.
Dang it, my guy.
All right, so my book of the week.
Yeah, the book of the week. Give us a book of the week.
This book of the week is not for the weak at heart or the extremely prudent, or it is immature all the way.
It's for the grown-ups.
It is for grown-ups that can handle this stuff. Only. This is like, it's called Barbaric.
Yeah. What's it? Is
and
it
it's by Vault. It's by Vault.
Their stuff seems to be more grown up.
Yeah, I think so too.
This
guy is a barbarian who he had to accept a curse from 3 witches.
Ugh.
That means he always has to do good if anybody ever asks him to help. Like he has an axe that talks to him, only him, and it has a thirst for blood. And if he
like
chops up people, if he chops up people, it's like he's drinking alcohol. He starts hiccuping and stuff. It's weird. But there's this guy who has him and says he's going to have to fight these 3 guys in the arena. And they're like, this one murdered this person. This one slaughtered this person. This one stole from the rich. And the guy's like, I can't kill the guy that stole from the rich people. He's like, what? He goes, yeah, that doesn't, his axe is like, you can't kill him. I mean, it's theft. It doesn't necessitate murder. So, and, but it looks like it's going to be like a 4-issue.
That's so
he ends up saving this witch from being killed, but he doesn't know she's a witch. And then she starts talking to his axe because she can hear the axe talk. And he goes, you are a witch. And he goes, yeah, but you have to help me do this. And he's like, oh, I can't believe you just said that. So it looks fun, but it
sounds fun.
It's got naughtiness in it.
I mean, yeah. Here's something that made me think of. In Vox Machina, which we have talked about in here before, is one of the characters is named Grog Strongjaw, and he is a barbarian.
Gotcha.
And he has this giant sword called Craven Edge that is like a sentient
Gotcha. So,
sword.
Okay, these barbarians and these heroes are all naughty.
110%. Craven Edge drains strength from the foes it strikes and gives the strength to the wielder of the weapon.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, speaks to you and is like, you should hurt this person.
This is basically what his axe is doing.
It's a dark entity. There is a dark being within Craven Edge.
The art is fantastic. It's so good, but it's so bad. But it's my book of the week.
It cursed Grog's soul, and they had to do this really huge healing spell for his store to be repaired.
Gotcha. All right.
Because it made him
So that's it.
gluttonous and a turd.
Well, this guy, from what I can tell, it's him.
I don't know, man.
Gotcha.
It just seems kind of
right.
similar.
I will
Keep your
probably
eye
get the
out
next
for
one, and if
curses.
it's, I will watch it. Hopefully, it won't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hannah and I,
Yeah.
because as an honorable mention, Marvel relaunched X-Men with issue
Yeah, that's
1
what you said.
again.
X-Men.
And I have like multiple first issue X-Men books.
If you are watching this and not hearing this, there is a vast
6.
majority of them
And
behind him.
I had 3 more, but I couldn't put them up because I ran out of space. So I had 9 issue 1s of different X-Men comic books here. And they're X-Men title, except for X Factor 1. X Factor, although is the original X-Men, they reunited for X Factor issue 1. So in whatever you call them, woohoo-ness, hoopla-ness
in
of them
celebration.
relaunching X-Men 1, we read Astonishing X-Men, the first trade paperback. They came out in the late 1990s, I believe.
Here's what I felt like while reading it. So it was the first like 11 or 12 issues.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I am uniquely situated reading comics like this because I've seen all of the X-Men movies. I know a lot about X-Men because I really like X-Files, which is kind of like they're all like mutants, right?
Exiles.
Exiles.
Did you say
You're
X-Files?
right, X-Files. I'm losing my mind. Nobody judge me on this, please.
Not judging you at all.
Thank you. And I'm your daughter.
Right.
So like I know a lot of this stuff just because it's something that I'm interested in. I felt like there was so much lore and background that I did not know.
Probably so.
Going into this comic book, I'm like, Emma Frost is a good person? ? And she's dating Cyclops now. Like they're like in love? ? And Kitty Pryde is like a grown up now, but they're calling her kitten still, which is weird. And where's Colossus? Like where is he? Oh no, wait, we know where he is. And that one guy looked like an elephant seal.
The bad guy?
Yes.
The bad alien? Looked like an elephant seal. Oh my gosh.
You can't tell me he did not look like an elephant seal. Because he did.
No, he did. Okay, so yeah, there was a lot happened there.
Something you go.
Go ahead. No, keep going.
No, you go.
No, you go. I want to listen to you because I love listening to you because you've never
I've never read
this.
it. My guess is that part of it has to do with Apocalypse. Or maybe not Apocalypse, but like the giant sentient beings that came from like space to like kill stuff. Like the giant big ones. Because they like fight that girl who's not a girl, but is the Danger Room. But Danger Room becomes a lady. And then the lady's like, I need to go get Father. And Father's Xavier. Yeah, and what was he doing? Why wasn't he there? He was like, I'll just let Emma Frost be in charge of this. That makes sense. No, nothing about that makes sense.
I have these books.
Ding.
So these books, this trade is available if you have Amazon Prime for free.
Free.
Yeah. So I was going to see what year this came out.
Here's the thing. It was dope. It was fun to read.
2004.
I was going to say, it didn't seem like it was the 90s. Like the art style seemed.
All right. So
more
here,
recent
let me give you a
than
little bit of background on this.
Yeah.
So what happened ages ago, there was a virus called the legacy virus that was killing mutants. And the dumbest thing in the world, hey, we can cure all mutants, but someone has to die and be injected in order. They'll be injected. Cyclops. Cyclops is dead.
Why did Cyclops get injected? That's so dumb.
He injects himself.
Why?
He does it to save everyone because Cyclops is a good guy.
Because he cares so much. Okay, for those of you who are like, I don't know who Cyclops is. Cyclops is this giant, is he Russian? Is he from Russia? This giant Russian man, like 6'7".
He's big.
Like huge. Like his body
he turns
is
into
massive,
organic steel.
And he turns into steel. But here's the thing. This man is a giant soft boy.
Yeah,
He is a teddy bear.
He used to love, I don't know if he does anymore, Kitty Pryde.
He loves her still. He talked about it in the thing because she was like, you don't want to be around me anymore. And he's like, you're not around me enough. And I'm like, oh, they love each other still.
Yeah, so this series looks at they're trying to cure mutants of their mutanicity, right? Mm-hmm. And
that little girl was not okay.
No. Mm-mm.
That little girl needs some pretty severe counseling.
Yeah.
And needs to be in a place where she will be. Nobody here knows what I'm talking about.
So anyway, in the first story arc that they're doing the experiment on, basically,
there's this lady, and this lady is like, I've cured someone. And the person that they picked, I mean, I guess she really did need to be cured because she's a small child who's unable to control her abilities, and her nightmares come to life. And she is a troubled little girl.
Yeah.
So she has some pretty severe nightmares. She probably has some pretty severe mental illnesses. So she really does need some help. But this grown woman saying this little girl volunteered to be a part of this and like willingly consented.
Volunteer.
You can't willingly consent to anything until you're 18 years of age.
And they were
not an adult
using
yet.
So they were using Cyclops.
Cyclops' DNA.
They had him captured all this time in an alien spaceship underground.
He was alive.
The whole time.
And the elephant seal man
guy
had him. What is his name? He has a weird name.
It doesn't matter. I completely forgot all about him until I reread this again. So this is written by, this was like some of the beginning of Sword, which now
Sword
we
is
all know.
Shield, but for
in
aliens.
Space. It was in space.
Space Shield.
But we get introduced to Sword in this just recently in WandaVision.
I don't know that, but okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Because
it was called Sword. Yeah. She worked for Sword. So this comic book arc is written by Joss Whedon, the guy who wrote Firefly and the first Avengers movie. He also has a new show on HBO Max called The Nevers. He came in and tried his best to do something with the Snyder Cut, and it was still terrible. The first one. But here's what I love about this book: the art.
The art is really good.
Cassidy, the guy who writes it or draws it, is fantastic. That's my favorite. So there's really two basically story arcs in it.
The story arc with the Elephant Man, which is not done.
No. And the Danger Room coming to life.
The Danger Room coming to life, becoming a sentient being.
Did you catch that? Did you catch this? So one of the characters, one of the students at the X-Men mansion is testing out if he can fly.
After he had been...
Right. But did you realize he was in the Danger Room and the Danger Room had deactivated the safeties? He shouldn't have been able to be killed. So the Danger Room basically killed him.
Yeah.
So the Danger Room comes to life, and which is a big deal.
Yeah. Which is really sad because Kitty's in there with all the kids, and all of the kids are freaking out.
And then here comes Professor X, wherever he's been all this time.
Yeah, like, what? Where have you been? Genosha?
Yeah, you don't know what that is, do you? All right.
I'm making a face.
It's a mutant, mutant country.
Hideaway, but
now they got Krakoa and Mars, right? Yeah, but everybody was killed, right? Yeah.
Something which is a big part of interesting was that they had that Kitty went through because they were being attacked by some like sentient being, like this, like the Danger Room had like awoken.
Correct.
What was that?
The giant robot?
Yeah.
That's in Days of Future Past, the movie. Remember the giant robots?
I didn't
Sentinels.
watch Days of Future. The Sentinels. That's what I was trying to say earlier. I said sentient probably instead of Sentinels.
The Sentinels, yeah.
But something that I thought was really interesting is that Kitty went in there and they were like, "No, we're not allowed to read that. That'll ruin our programming." And she's like, "No, it's not. It's just something that the Danger Room doesn't want you to see." And so the Sentinel looks at it and is able to recognize that billions of people were killed at this place. And then
Yeah.
and then Kitty comes back down and the Sentinel goes away and stops attacking the X-Men.
Yeah, just like flies off into space.
Because Kitty's like, yeah. Well, and something that she says is so true because there's research that's coming out recently that's fact, that human brains are incapable of fathoming what a billion of anything is. Like, we just can't fathom, like, our brains were like, cannot compute how much that is. That Kitty talked about how the Sentinel was able to fathom, like, how much life that is. And so Kitty was like, it needed a break. There was
a documentary where a school wanted to get a paperclip for every person, Jewish person, and it was just unbelievable how many paperclips that was during World War II.
Yeah, it was a.
I don't remember. It's a good movie worth watching.
It was we watched it because it was a high school in Appalachia.
Oh, I don't remember.
It was an Appalachian high school.
So. Yeah, if you guys want to catch in, Astonishing X-Men is one. If you're a comic book fan, is a great one. If you are a newbie, like
if you're
poor
a noob,
Hannah,
it ain't gonna make no sense. It ain't gonna make no sense. But the art is cool.
Yeah, the art is cool. Anyway, let's get to Fast 9 because we don't have a lot of time, and we're going to talk spoilers. Yeah, that's me shooting it down in space. Hannah, this was the worst Fast and Furious 9 movie.
So bad.
I felt sorry for the people sitting in the theater with us. So this was Hannah's inaugural post-COVID movie.
This was the first movie I had ever seen
since COVID. And it was terrible. It was funny. A friend of mine said, "Listen, once you've seen them all, you're too far in to stop."
You can't stop. I can't stop. Won't stop.
Oh, I'm done.
My favorite thing in the end. What is Dad? What's the song? The song that you were singing.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Lane switcher. I'm a lane switcher. Something ditcher. Take one for my gang member. That's the only thing I like.
The worst song in
the acting was horrible.
My favorite thing in the entire world was John Cena's faces.
His grimace.
John Cena made
he was just like
awful face. He was like, I hate everything face.
I know.
And I just laughed at him, man.
Okay, so
I just laughed at him.
We're not going to tell you the plot because there wasn't one except, hey, let's go to outer space and kill
Excuse you, sir?
They launch a car into outer space.
There was such a good plot.
Oh my gosh. At one point in the movie, there's actually conversation going on about, hey, do you ever realize how we do all this crazy stuff and nobody ever gets hurt? And they're like, yeah, I see that. Do you think maybe we're invincible? Yeah, maybe that's it. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. No, that's exactly.
My favorite thing in the entire world is...
What?
I sat next to you and I sat next to Trevin, and Trev leaned over and was like, that's not how magnets work.
Yes.
Like, I know.
Oh my gosh. What kind of flipping magnets would they be?
Switching the polarity of the magnet.
And not even that. Like, how strong would a magnet have to be? It would rip people's fillings out. Their zipper would be ripped out of their pants. Oh my gosh.
Man.
It was.
What would that have done to someone with a
pacemaker
or like a replaced
artery or a valve or a limb?
Like a
get your bang! There goes their leg.
Like a knee replacement surgery and the electric, or like a plate in their neck.
Yes, exactly. Or their braces with the teeth.
That was in.
For those of you who don't know, John Cena is
C2, Spy Kids 2.
All right.
That happens in
John Cena is Dom's brother.
Because Dom has a brother. He's had a brother this entire time. We always knew he had a sister, but he's always had a brother.
Let me tell you what the worst part of the movie was for me.
The flashback scenes? Because they look nothing alike?
I don't care about that. Okay. Me sitting through the credits to watch a stupid Jason Statham cameo. I thought, this could be something really cool. And he's just hitting a punching bag. We've got a person in it. And then, BT Dubs, the Asian guy, Han, he ain't dead. He was just faking it.
He's alive.
He was faking it. He's alive. He's alive.
I need you to know that I just love these movies
I know,
So
but
much.
this was the worst one I've ever seen.
Dad. Yeah.
I mean,
Cypher, man, she doesn't.
Oh, and BTW,
Her
a
haircut
Cypher
was
spinoff movie.
so bad. Really?
Cypher spinoff movie.
Why?
Okay, so the joke about being the one guy being Yoda was funny. I appreciated that. He goes, he felt like he was like Obi-Wan, and she goes, "Really? I think you're more like Yoda. You're like a puppet with somebody with their hands
hand up their butt."
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I was
so
like,
Charlize Theron, don't you have like an Oscar? Weren't you nominated?
What are you doing
Why
here,
are you?
girl?
They must be paying her bank because
are you kidding me? They're rolling in it. They're like, look at all my money.
if you want to watch the Charlize Theron movie that just came out that was really good, watch Old Guard.
Or watch Atomic Blonde.
No, don't even watch that.
Yeah, Old Guard was 110% way better.
So anyway,
But here's the thing. Watch out.
Fast and Furious 9, guys, you go into it watching it knowing full well what you're getting. And actually, I got less than what I thought I was getting.
Here's what you should look at. John Cena's face.
If you go, yes.
You should just pay attention to his face.
And some of the jokes are cute. Some of the jokes are funny. The one guy saying, he started like, the bad guy's like, I've got my own company now. And the big thug with him goes, and it has a great dental plan. And he smiles and his teeth look great.
His teeth look beautiful.
I was like, that's funny. That was good.
Well, they did a callback to some of their older ones.
Yeah.
Like that one guy, because in the previous episode, the Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood, was in it.
Was he in this one?
No, Scott Eastwood wasn't. And Mr. Nobody just did like a 5-second clip.
Yeah, he was barely in it.
Well, probably because they couldn't pay Kurt Russell to be in it with everybody else that they were having in it. Helen Mirren was in it. John Cena.
Helen Mirren was good.
Helen Mirren was good.
Oh, and what's the girl that like the apparently some famous person that I don't know rescued Dom, takes off the hood, and it's like, who was that? Who was
Cardi
it?
B was in it for like a hot second. And
I was
she
like, what?
I'm like, what is she doing here?
I felt like I was watching Jersey Shore. I don't have any clue what it was. It was bad. I love every one of them. This movie was not good. Not good at all. The acting wasn't even good. Okay? Man. Anyway. All right. Man, so if you had to give this if you had to rate this 1 through 9, where does it fall?
Scale? Am I rating this on like
I'm saying, is this 9 being the best Fast and Furious movie you've ever seen? We're not going to give it tomatoes or stars because you can't give negatives.
Like
but you can. You would say this is the second best.
Like 9 being the best.
Oh, 9 being the best. Okay, so second worst.
Yeah.
Yes, this would be worst. This would be 0.
This would be like 1 or 2.
Yeah, this would be 1 all day long.
Like, I really like the OG Fast and Furious is like good, but it's like not. They hit their stride by like 4, 5, 6.
Oh my gosh, the first 2 are actually decent movies.
Did you watch the second one?
Well, they don't.
Vin Diesel's not even in the second one.
Who cares? They don't launch anything into space.
Launching things into space is awesome.
That's dumb. In a daggone scuba thing, they look like porcupines or whatever floating around out in legal yellow balls. That was terrible. Anyway,
was hysterical.
Hannah gives it a 2. I give it a 1 out of 9.
Meaning that it did bad, not that it did good. Sorry, when when I work with clients and I ask them to rate something 1 to 10, 10 means best, 1 means worst. So that's why my brain did that.
I give it a 1. You give it a 2.
1 or 2.
All right. Enroll.
But yeah, hey, it was fun watching that with you. I need you to know that was the first time I'd been to a theater in a really long time.
And I had fun with everybody else who went.
It was fun. Yeah, all the Sibs went.
Yep, and their friends.
And friend is, you mean my sister's fiance?
And your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my popcorn.
And my popcorn. You did. Did I ever give you that powder that I put in my backpack?
You did. I threw it away.
Okay.
No,
I'm like, do I still have white cheddar cheese powder in a zip, like in a little container, just like hanging in my backpack? I don't.
No,
I'm glad I don't.
It's
because it would have spilled by now.
All right.
Let's
go. This has gone on forever. Thanks, guys, for listening. We greatly appreciate it. I absolutely have nothing to do with this whole entire thing except I put it on YouTube when I remember.
Our art is created by Nathan Turner. Hey, thanks for doing that for us, bud. He made that in Microsoft Paint. It looks phenomenal. Thanks for doing that for us.
It is really good.
It really is pretty dang good. Our music is created by Brockwell Nason. He has stuff every place. You should check out if you're interested. His
I know he's on Spotify for sure.
Dang it.
It doesn't matter.
Green light. I can't remember.
Olivia,
he covered an Olivia Rodrigo song, and it's really, really good. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. Hey, our podcast is edited by me, Hannah Turner, and we're thankful that you're here, our sweet, sweet friends.
Yes. Next week, we will announce the winner of the trade paperback. Woo! So hit the share button, hit the like button. If you don't like us, don't tell us.
Yeah,
but we like you.
We really appreciate that 5-star review on
Do we have
Apple
any
Podcasts.
Reviews?
No.
Do we have
But
any?
if you're going to leave
at
one,
all?
It should be a 5-star review. That's what it should be. If you're going to review
we will
us.
bribe you.
If you
leave a 5-star review,
we'll say thank you to you. And say, hey, this is what your name is. We are thankful for you.
Yeah, my stickers are cool.
His stickers are cool. His art is cool.
Thanks for hanging with us, guys. We really enjoy it.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, friends.
Bye.